So on the previous page, I gave you functions and you created a graph. But now this time what we're going to be doing is you're given a graph and you have to create functions. Okay? It's definitely difficult, I agree. Okay, so I look here. This makes a U. If it makes a U, that means it's an x squared graph. Okay? I know that my important value is the vertex, so I know the vertex is 3, 0. Okay? So I'm going to decide that it's a pretty simplistic one. So let's look at how we're going to show. Oh, and it also, I notice it's like from 4 to then keeps going that way forever. So that would be x is less than 4. You can't see that, I'm sorry. All right? So now let's look at how they wrote it. They started by writing f of x. So let's write f of x equals. And then they put set notation. And let's talk about the first equation. Well, I know if it's with the x, it's not a straight shooter. And then there is no y. Now, what did I say? It's 4. Let's see, I think they put a comma. How did they do it? Yep, they put a comma. X is less than or equal to 4. So that covers, let me get my pen. So this 4, and then less than forever, covers this. Now I need to cover my blue. So it's an open circle at the 4 and then goes forever to the right. So that means I know this is greater than 4. Okay. I also know that I'm dealing with slope. So it looks, I have to figure out where it crisscrosses. It crisscrosses here and crisscrosses there. So that is down 1, right 1. Negative 1 over 1 is negative 1. So it's negative x. And then I just have to follow it till I get to the y-intercept. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Oh, at 0. So I can put plus 0, or I can just not write anything. I put the plus 0 because I put it in pen. And then x has to be greater than 4. Okay? That isn't easy. Piecewise functions are difficult. Okay, now let's look here. So, there's different ways to interpret this, honestly. If I was to look at this, it looks like it probably, I don't know if I did a good job on that one or not. I guess this could be interpreted different ways. This could be exponential. Honestly, it kind of looks like a parabola, and it looks like it was one parabola, but they split it. So that means whatever I use for this equation, I can use for this one. So in a sense, my pink here, that is less than 4, so x is less than 4, and it looks like it's greater than or equal to 2. So that's closed circle, that's open. It's kind of hard to see, so open circle. So that's x is greater than 2. I do know that I'm using that for the same equation. So if I have x-intercepts of, negative 4. If I have x-intercepts of negative 4 and 2, I can figure out what's halfway between, and that's 1. Okay. Negative 1. I'm doing great. And then down, looks like down 3. Okay. So if I'm good at vertex form, let's see. F of x equals set notation, not a straight shooter, comma. X is less than negative 4, and x is greater than 2. All of that was my pink. I also have my blue, where this is closed circle at negative 4, and this is open circle at 2. So let me make this kind of set notation a little bit bigger. Let's see. Okay. Then I know, well, wait a minute, if it's a horizontal line, that reminds me of when I did this horizontal line at negative 3. Remember, it was horizontal, straight, and there were other examples in the past. So that means this is going to just be, what does y equal every single time? 5. It's between negative 4 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 2. Oops! Is it less than or equal to? Sorry, you can't see that. I'm doing awesome. It's actually just less than, because that's open circle. And that's my answer. Okay? I probably won't have you do these as much as I have you do the other ones, but I wanted you to see how to go back and forth. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a piecewise function in this situation. Okay, so let's see if we can read this. Your favorite dog groomer charges you according to your dog's weight. Okay, that's exciting, but it's not math, so, I mean, it's good to know, but it's not going to help me get a piecewise function. Okay, and if I'm going to write a piecewise function, let me go f of x equals, hopefully I made that big enough. Okay, if your dog is 15 pounds or under, 15 pounds or under, the groomer charges you $35. So if you're 1 pound, $35. 10 pounds, $35. 15 pounds, $35. Okay? So this graph isn't very awesome. And then if you're between 15 and 40, where they're including 40, then they're going to charge you $40. So if you weigh 20 pounds, $40. If you weigh 15 pounds, $35. But if you weigh 15.1 pounds, you're automatically at $40. Then if your dog is over 40 pounds, they charge you $40 plus $2 for each additional pound over 40. Okay? So if I was to graph this y-axis is pretty horrible. So we'll say this is 10, this is 20, this is 30, oops, this is 40, this is 50. Okay, so if I'm playing that game, and I go, okay, so from 15, ooh, this isn't good either. So let me, my x values, so let's make this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so if you weigh 15 pounds or less, it's $35. So 15 pounds or less, $35. Close circle. So that covers the pink. So that means this is my pink. Then they said, okay, well, if you're between 15 and $40, so between 15 and 40 pounds, so that's 15 all the way to 40, that's $40. But if you're more than 40, then you're going to have to be at 40 up to right one. So I'm kind of going to fake it, but this would make a diagonal line, and these are both horizontal lines. Okay, so that means I'm going to go at more than 40. It's going to go like that. Okay, so this last one would be diagonal, open circle, and that's the way you show that. Okay, all right. Piecewise functions. Sure, some of you are like, oh, I didn't realize something like this was piecewise. It is, yay. Okay. During a snowstorm, meteorology, blah, 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 big words. Okay, let me start. F of x equals, all right. For the first 3 hours of the storm, for 0 is less than x, which is less than 3. So for the first 3 hours, that means that's included. They fall at a constant rate of 1 inch per hour. So that means it's going to be a diagonal line going up one, right one, up one, right one, up one, right one. Then the storm then stopped for 2 hours and then started again. So that means it started again at 5 at a constant rate, and started again for the next, 4 hours. So from 5 to 9, and that's included. And what did it do? It fell at a constant rate of 1/2 inch per hour. Okay, so then I have this. How do I graph it? There is no y-intercept. Up one, right one, up one, right one, up one, right one. Stop at 3. And what I should have done is done open circle and then solid closed circle. So that's my pink right there. Then here, it's between 5 and 9. So some of you go, well, that seems kind of hard. I could also do a table, can't I? So I could go x, y, and I could go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That might help a little bit. Half of 5 is 2.5. Half of 6 is 3. Half of 7 is 3.5. 4, 4.5. So I could plot those points. Another thing I could do is I could go up 0, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, up 1, right 2. And as soon as we get to the 5, that's when I start. So the fact that it's here, and I would erase that part. And some of you go, what? Well, then just follow this. 5, close circle. And then up 1, right 2. Okay, all the way to 9. And the 9 is closed circle. And that represents it. Okay? All right, let's go to the next page. All right, this is your homework. Let's see. So they want you to graph them both. Use Desmos. Use Desmos. I'm fine with that. Okay? All right. This one, you know how to solve. This one is like the lessons from before. Use the homework help. You know how to solve systems. This is when I would subtract these two and get there. This one, just follow the directions and get the answer. Let's see. A football, sorry, quarterback 29 balls, reaching a height of 5 yards. This is the one, if you remember when you're going like this, remember this had to be 0, 0. This was something, and then you used the height. Oops, I'm sorry. So this was here, you're throwing a football, and it makes a parabola going up. Remember, you had to go y equals ax minus h squared plus k. Okay. So that's what you're doing there. They want the equation of the parabola, but you can't just do the vertex. You have to go like y equals a and then do the factored form. So figure out what a is. Then they want the equation of the line, a little bit easier. They want you to practice solving. So box this out, multiply by 1/2, subtract 2, then move this stuff over and go from there. You're going to end up with a fraction. So like if I had 1/3 x squared, I would multiply everything by 3. You're not going to get 1/3, but I can't, oh shoot, I can't give you everything, okay? But if there's a fraction, I would multiply by whatever the denominator is to get rid of it. This is the same thing, but this is saying graph. So use Desmos to help you, okay? This is what, and now they're saying use the graph. So this is when you're going to do the whole, I don't know, decide where it's shaded. Use Desmos to help you with every one of these. This one, this is when you would solve. So add 2, go from there. Okay? Since this is 3 pages, this will be worth 5 points, okay? Answer the questions based on that. This is from before. And this is the piecewise. And this is solved by completing the square. And I think that covers everything.